Howdy and warm welcome to Hope Channel Zambia's news. Let's take a look at stories making headlines. Stanley Mutoya, the Zambian truck driver who suffered stroke while in transit, has died. This is Hope Channel Zambia. You are catching us live from Al Saka studio on Top Star channel number 450 and the movie Bouquet on channel number 25, plus our streaming sites on social media being Facebook as well as YouTube. The handle is Hope Channel Zambia. You do well to subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow our live streams there. It's now time for the news. Let's take a look at stories making headlines. Stanley Mutoya, the Zambian truck driver who suffered stroke while on transit, has died. Government finally responds to the filling up dump site in Lusaka's Chunga area. SID president jets in the country ahead of GC president's visit. South Zambia Union Conference Education Department to introduce an Adventist curriculum for all Adventist schools in Zambia. These and more stories coming up shortly. Don't go away.
My wife, bumper harvest. Eh?
Daddy,
I'm telling you.
your new fertilizer. Niamini.
Eh?
Iye daddy
Tell you.
Hello. My instructions. Ya kunka bwino mwamene.
I went to ETG, and now we are enjoying the benefits of using a blended D-compound fertilizer as basil and Kinoplus as top dressing fertilizer instead of urea that we used last year. Now look here. This year, it has given me 4 tons. 4 tons. But last year, it was only 1.8 tons. Kinoplus has given all my crops the nitrogen that I paid for.
Wow.
It has saved me money. telling you.
iyeve ya braise
Kind
mwanene
Understanding the difference between soil and crop-specific fertilizers, therein lies strength for Kynoplast blended fertilizers. More value in a bag. Available in the ETG depots countrywide, with a network providing agronomy services to farmers across the country. Kynoplast. Enhanced efficiency through innovation. A product of ETG.
Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Bright Sinkosi with the details, and on sign language we have George Kalimukwa. Let's start with this rather sad development. A Zambian truck driver, Stanley Mutoya, who suffered stroke while in transit to South Africa, has died. Mutoya, 47, died this afternoon around 15 hours at Whitport.
jadde mwayanagwira brother watu baja bantu bakuma offices baku South Africa so tumireko phone so the following date naona zi ndipo ntina nyamuka pa Thursday last week kwenda ku ma offices kwao ku Inter Africa ku Makeni tinanyamuka fo ine bamai na ba cousin watu na
on Saturday the family decided to send the wife to the victim to South Africa to be by his bedside at their own expense, as the company refused to foot for other expenses but only medical bills. This situation has made the family to panic and struggle, as they have to send money on a daily basis to their relative for food, lodging and transport.
Thank you so much for joining us on the news. Let's quickly retake this earlier read story where a Zambian truck driver, Stanley Mutoya, who suffered stroke while in transit to South Africa, died. Mutoya, 47, died this afternoon around 15 hours at Whitport Hospital in Limpopo, South Africa, where he was undergoing medical treatment. The Mutoya family confirmed this development to Hope News in Lusaka today. The late Mr. Mutoya was an employee of Fortune Trading Limited and is survived by a wife and children. Yesterday, the Ministry of Labor and Social Security intervened in a standoff between Mutoya's employers and his family regarding his medical bills and upkeep for his wife, who was on a bedside. Ago, Hope News aired a story about the Chunga Chingwere Road leading to the Great North Road, which has been completely blocked by garbage following the filling up of the official dump site in Chunga area. Latest in this development is that local government minister Gary Nkombo visited the site to see for himself the status of the road and the filling up dump site. After inspecting the dump site, the minister has disclosed that his ministry has contracted the Zambia National Service, ZNS, to clear the road with immediate effect. Mr. Nkombo, however, says he is yet to make another visit to the dump site with other concerned ministers, councillors and ward development committee members to ascertain, rather find a lasting solution to the challenge. We'll be giving you details of that story a little later as we continue with the news. Now, local government and urban development minister Gary Nkombo says the removal of mobile money operators, booth operators from the central business district of Lusaka was done with a view of bringing sanity in the city. Mr. Nkombo says he was aware that those whose booths were removed from the CBD are stranded, but he has maintained that the move was made in full consultation with the local authority with the aim of returning power to the local authority from political cadres. He added that the ministry is yet to find a permanent place where the mobile booth operators are to do their businesses from. Mr. Nkombo says the process of relocating them is still in progress and hopes that it shall be resolved soon. He was reacting to a query by Hope News on the status of the affected booth operators who are slowly entering the CDB to operate without stands.
The process of reorganizing and restoration of order is an ongoing process. Yes, indeed. Sometime last year, we moved mobile money booth operators who we thought were not in the correct place in the CBD, Cairo Road, Chachacha Road. And their movement was in full consultation with themselves. And so we awarded the responsibility of putting people in designated places to the council, against how it was before, where the designation was done by political cadres. That we should never forget that history. And so we have not completely found a lasting solution to those who are still in bad corners and undesignated places and running from booths. And also those who were removed. We haven't found a permanent solution as yet. But suffice to say, it is work in progress. It is something we are quite sure we're going to do amicably together with themselves. And I'll give it to you as an example. That yes, the rain season has come, and there may be a thinking that those who booths were removed are stranded. The answer is no. Because even if you go now to the undesignated booths that are still standing, you will not find people in there. Why? It's because people have swamped the CBD, and these booths are not local. And random people at night, still continue to use those booths as toilets. And so they're not conducive. And this is the reason why I'm sitting here as the minister responsible for that particular area. We shall continue to consult, we shall continue to pack people in the correct order. It will be a continuous process until we get it right. So the push is still on, solutions are still being sought, but one thing that we clearly want is the fight against the sapping of power from the local authorities to political cadres. That will be done and dealt and dusted.
Let's retake a story that was earlier read, where the local government minister, Gary Nkombo, today took time to visit the dump site in Chunga, which is filled up, forcing those dumping garbage in that area dump even in the road. By 2 days ago, the road leading to the Great North Road from Chunga Chingwere was completely blocked with garbage. Today, the minister took a familiarization tour and appreciated the situation at the dump site. In that visit, the minister did assure that he was going to get back to that site with other concerned ministers, ward councillors, as well as ward committee members. He has since indicated that the Zambia National Service, ZNS, has been contracted to clear the road in that area. Let's get the report.
On 24th January 2023, Hope Channel aired a story of a road that has become a dumping site in Chunga area material constituency. The residents who raised concerns of the road that has become impassable due to the council trucks who dump debris on the middle of the road. And local government minister Gary Nkombo has engaged the Zambia National Service, who work with the Japanese company. Mr. Nkombo says the problem the council waste management is facing is due to lack of equipment, and Japanese constructors had this to say.
It's the situation, so expecting equipment in the next 24 to 48 hours. So based on what we requested, we are positive that we'll be able to turn things around soon. And get the operations back to normal. Capital investment. We need to have our own equipment to run, the facility. Most of the equipment here is hired by the council, so if we can have, funds injected into that. Yeah. Of course, there are other issues as well, like management, training, improving standards. That would help as well. Yes, we need serious buy-in from the top leaders. We are grateful that the Honorable Minister is here to see the situation for himself. So he will be compelled. I'm sure he knows, the right direction. Yeah.
This is not even a landfill. It's now just a dump site. Because when it was engineered back in the year, it was done in such a way that it processes waste and manages waste. As it is today, the only processing that I see here is recycling of plastic and whatever our people are collecting to take back into the community, which also poses a danger. So it is without contest that another place must be found. Remember, the rules around a landfill or a dump site is that there must be a buffer zone of 500 meters. And there's no 500 meters here. This is 3-4 meters into the dump site. So you can imagine the environmental hazard that our people live in, especially now in the time of the wet season. The entire sector requires nothing but reorganization. And like my colleague said here from JICA, is that you cannot just give lip service about reorganization and recapitalization. You have heard here that most of the equipment that is here is on hire. As it is, I think that it becomes more imperative for me now to invite all the civic leaders for Lusaka districts, meaning the members of parliament. They must come with me here. The councillors must also come with me here so that they appreciate the tail end of the waste that we generate as a community, so that probably together we can put our heads and decide. And my immediate thoughts right now is that we must compel Lusaka-based constituencies through the Constituency Development Fund, which is broadened by size and by extent, to buy equipment, because it obviously goes without saying that it's cheaper to buy equipment than to hire. All this that you see here is hired. Who is hiring? It is the Lusaka City Council mainly, and the Lusaka City Council sitting in between a stone and a hard place, because the generators of the waste, our own people,
do not believe the fact that they must pay for the waste they generate.
Anis Sakala reporting for Hope News in Lusaka.
Now let's head straight to Eastern Province, where government has handed over various projects amounting to about 1.8 million kwacha implemented using the Constituency Development Fund, CDF, to members of the community in Musanzala constituency of Lusangazi district in Eastern Province. The handed over projects include 33 boreholes rehabilitated at a total cost of 1.2 million kwacha, while the rehabilitation of a staff house at Chikuse Primary School at a total cost of 95,172 kwacha, and also another rehabilitation project of a 1x3 classroom block at Kalumbi Primary School that costed 495,000 kwacha. We have details in this.
They are here to witness the handover ceremony of constituent development projects. The projects were decided by community members themselves. Dotted around the newly district of Lusangazi are results of empowering citizens with the power to determine the development priorities in their communities that has come with the expanded Constituency Development Fund, CDF. Tanzania Member of Parliament Elias Daka joined Eastern Province Permanent Secretary Paul Tole to hand over some of the CDF projects implemented in the district.
This is just one of the 15 1x3 classroom blocks that we are working on as Lusanzara constituency and Lusangazi district. On top of that, we have done 33 boreholes, which have been drilled and they are working. People have benefited from there. And we have also 1x2 classroom blocks, about 10 of them, which are under construction, just almost the same stages of what we have seen here. Now we are going to Chikuse, where we have also rehabilitated the teachers' houses, and there is another project there where the roof is blown off. So we have just engaged a contractor to work on it.
Eastern Province Permanent Secretary Paul Tole has commissioned these facilities to represent others that have been brought to life using the 2021 and 2022 Constituency Development Funds.
We're grateful that you have given us an opportunity to come and inspect and see for ourselves, which they call verification of what the CDF has done. This shows that with the community, they are able to understand and identify their needs, irrespective of who we are in terms of our political affiliation. That is irrelevant. What is important is that we are Zambians. Look at the statistics, they speak for themselves. It's not easy. From last year to date, you are saying 10 1x2 classroom blocks at the same stage, 33 1x3 classroom blocks, and the 33 boreholes. That's not a mean achievement. Besides, we are also continuing to rehabilitate. We have seen the broken down infrastructure.
The traditional leadership also witnessed the symbolic commissioning events.
Ichi chintu chataonole boma yatu yakutichitira tichitole kuti tichisunge bwino osati kuti niva boma ni vani so lokasamalidwe kaivi vintu vuwera tento visamala kuti ni changu boma nine why.
And as a school we are very much grateful with the construction which is going on, because since the school was established, we have just been using a 1x3 classroom block, which has been giving us a hassle in terms of class allocations and even following the timetable.
The Permanent Secretary, who was accompanied by the Deputy Permanent Secretary and other district officials, also inspected construction works at Kalumbi Primary School and Chikuse Primary. Here, the area Member of Parliament also inspected the probable state of some bridges. Sambo David.
Let's take a break. More stories on the other side.
Are you looking for a place that sells fresh, healthy vegetables and fish? Well, look no further because New Roberts Fish and Veg Limited has what you are looking for. We have a wide variety of healthy products to satisfy your taste buds and help you in your healthy journey. We have a fully stocked butchery, farm-produced vegetables, and live fish. Yes, you heard me correctly, for that guaranteed freshness. So what are you still waiting for? Call 0976 543 822 or 0955 108 708 or 0965 691 909 or visit Chilenje, which is behind Total Gas Station. Because at New Roberts Fish and Veg Limited, we believe only fresh foods are good enough for you.
My wife, bumper harvest. Eh?
Daddy?
I'm telling you.
Your new fertilizer. Niamini.
Eh?
Daddy,
Tell you.
Hello. My instructions.
I went to ETG, and now we are enjoying the benefits of using a blended D-compound fertilizer as Beso and Kynoplus as top dressing fertilizer instead of urea that we used last year. Now look here. This year, it has given me 4 tons. 4 tons. But last year, it was only 1.8 tons. Kynoplus has given all my crops the nitrogen that I paid for. Wow. It has saved me money. Telling you.
Understanding the difference between soil and crop-specific fertilizers, therein lies strength for Kynoplus blended fertilizers. More value in a bag. Available in the ETG depots countrywide, with a network providing agronomy services to farmers across the country. Kynoplus. Enhanced efficiency through innovation. A product of ETG.
Is the fast-paced world making you miss your favorite Topster programs? Download the StarTimes own app from Google Play or Apple Store. Then link your decoder to the app and watch TV anytime, anywhere. Open the app and click on Me to sign up. Click the decoder service. Then enter your smart card number and last 6 digits of your decoder serial number and click link. Now you can change bouquet and make payments for your decoder using the app. Download the app now.
Thank you so much for still staying with us. Now we turn our focus into some religious news. Southern Indian Ocean Division SID President Dr. Harrington Akombwa has arrived in the country ahead of the expected arrival of General Conference GC President Ted Wilson, who is expected to be in the country tomorrow, Friday, the 27th of January 2023. Dr. Akombwa, who is accompanied by his wife, touched down at the Kenneth Kaunda International Airport around 13:30 hours to a historical welcome by scores of church leaders and youths who mounted a guard of honor in respect of the former Zambia and Southern Zambia Union Conference president. Speaking shortly after inspecting the parade, Dr. Akombwa said he was delighted to be in the country and welcome the GC president, an event he says was happening for the first time in the history of the Adventist Church in Zambia. He has since called on all Adventists in the country to be available and listen to the gospel the church leader is bringing. A number of activities have been lined up for the GC president when he visits the country.
Southern Indian Ocean Division President Dr. Harrington Akombwa has today, Thursday 26th January 2023, safely landed in the country ahead of the General Conference President's visit to Zambia. Upon arrival at the Kenneth Kaunda International Airport at about 13:30 hours in the company of his wife Shepherdess Monde Akombwa, the SID president proceeded to inspect a colorful guard of honor mounted by Adventist youths, which he was greatly impressed with.
I have inspected several guards of honor, and since becoming division president, I have been to different countries and done the same. But today, not because it is Zambia, but the truth be told, I think this is the best guard of honor that I have had the opportunity to inspect.
Dr. Akombwa has described the General Conference President's visit to Zambia a once-in-a-lifetime experience which church members should capitalize on to physically meet their world leader.
I would simply want to say to the Seventh-day Adventist Church in Zambia, many of you have been members of this church for many years, but you have not had an occasion like this one. And so since it has come in all our numbers and don't come alone. Just invite your friends and let's see what God is going to do in blessing us. This is a special time of visitation of God for the people in Zambia and the church in Zambia. And we want to thank him and we look forward to a wonderful experience together.
The General Conference President, Elder Ted Wilson, is expected to arrive in the country tomorrow, Friday, 27th January 2023, on a pastoral visit to interact with church members and understand how church business is conducted in the country.
Elder Ted Wilson, who has graciously offered to visit us here for 10 days, and he is going to arrive even earlier. So tomorrow he will be here and all the way until we see him off on the 5th of February, he is going to be a Zambian. And so I think this has not happened in the past, and we want to thank God for this wonderful opportunity.
Daniel Chilema, reporting for Hope News in Lusaka.
We look forward to the visit by Ted Wilson as he lands in the country tomorrow. Hope Channel Zambia will bring live most of the major events that will take place when the church leader will be in the country. Now, Southern Zambia Union Conference Education Director, Pastor Evans Manjimela, says he is optimistic that in Southern Zambia Union Conference, a well-developed and established curriculum system for all Adventist schools in the Union, starting with primary schools, will be established soon. Pastor Manjimela, who is also Southern Zambia Union Conference Religious Liberty Director, told Hope News that Adventist schools are currently using the government curriculum, which he says has nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with it, but there is need to develop one which will support the fundamentals of the Adventist faith. He added that the new curriculum being worked on will allow young scholars transition into secondary and tertiary education with a strong Adventist education. And Lusaka Conference Communications Director, Pastor Stanley Chilembo, has urged parents and church members to choose Adventist education because of its unique component of training the head, the hand, as well as the heart, which enables them to be relevant in the community. The duo was speaking in the sidelines of the Southern Zambia Union Conference advisory meeting for education directors at Ndozo Lodge in Lusaka yesterday.
On Wednesday, 25th January 2023, Southern Zambia Union Conference of the Seventh-day Adventist Church successfully intervened an advisory meeting with education and religious liberty directors drawn from all conferences and fields in the Union, including heads of the two tertiary institutions, Rusango University and Mwami School of Nursing and Health Sciences, respectively. This well-attended annual event was held in order to strategize and establish plans and focuses for the year 2023 in the area of education and religious liberty. Southern Zambia Union Conference Education and Religious Liberty Director, Pastor Evans Manjimela, told Hope News that one of the strong issues that came out of this year's advisory was a need for the church to develop a well-established curriculum to be presented to the Ministry of Education for consideration and adoption.
One of the issues that we are trying to address in this particular advisory is to, for a long time, we've not had a curriculum of our own. We are simply depending on what is already there. So one of the issues we want to look at is address matters of curriculum. In Adventist education, we can't forcibly talk about Adventist education if we don't have an established curriculum system that our teachers are going to follow. But in this particular meeting, we are not spreading it all over. We are trying to focus on the primary section. And the reason being that our primary section, that is our foundation in terms of the development of a human being. So we are looking at the primary and as a way of beginning. Once we are done with primary and part also of ECE, which is early childhood education or development, once we do our foundation very well, we are convinced by the grace of God that we'll be able to allow our children transition into secondary and tertiary university with a very strong Adventist education.
Pastor Manjimela said this is achievable looking at the willingness of all entities and effort being put and driven by the union to make this development a success.
More to it also is the fact that we want to be very intentional, not just to talk about our curriculum, but also to seriously sit down and actually develop the curriculum. And so that's the drive we are going into. So we hope that out of this meeting, we are now going to put up some little committee that is going to do the mechanics and put the document together, which we can look at and approve and vote and be able to engage government.
He further stated that currently all church educational facilities are using the government's curriculum. And speaking at the same function, Lusaka Conference Communications Director Pastor Stanley Chilembo said it's high time parents and church members supported the church by way of taking their children to Adventist education facilities.
I want to emphasize and appeal to our parents and church members. Let us choose Adventist education, because Adventist education does not only qualify your children academically. It doesn't just prepare your children academically, but it also gives them the spiritual aspect. In Adventist education, we believe in training the heart, training the head, the heart, and the hand. So children are equipped in all angles of life.
For now, it can only be hopes that everything that was laid down during the advisory goes in accordance with the plan of the union. Daniel Chilema, reporting for Hope News in Lusaka.
Meanwhile, Southern Zambia Union Conference Education and Religious Liberty Director Pastor Evans Manjimela has called on local churches in the union to set up schools in the communities they operate from. Pastor Manjimela, in an interview with Hope News, said at present there are few Adventist schools in the union, hence the call to flood all places in the 5 entities with Adventist schools. He said doing so will positively impact the country, as schools have a lasting impression in developing the minds of Christians in line with the church's objectives. Pastor Manjimela has further applauded churches in the union which are running schools in their communities. He has since urged all those running schools to work with the laws that are provided and made available in the country. And finally, in our news, Northern Zambia Union Conference of the Seventh-day Adventist has trained more than 500 church board members from Manda Hill, Lusaka North, Mandevu, and Thornpark Mission districts in stewardship. The 7-day stewardship seminar was held at Thornpark Main Adventist Congregation from 15th to 21st January 2023, facilitated by Northern Zambia Union Conference Stewardship Ministries Director, Pastor Mayboy Mujawe. Pastor Mujawe is hopeful that the trainees will contribute to the growth of the church with the knowledge they have acquired from the seminars. And Midlands West Zambia Conference Stewardship Director, Pastor Samakai Kahangu, said that the training program will continue in other districts within the conference.
Gifts or given in to who?
In view of the fact that every human being is a steward of God's gifts and resources, the Stewardship Ministries of Northern Zambia Union Conference of the Seventh-day Adventist Church is training church members in Midlands West Zambia Conference on how they can utilize these resources and gifts in completing God's mission. The trainings have started with 4 districts, namely Mandevu, Mandahill, Lusaka North, and Thornpark Mission District, which is hosting the first training.
We are very much glad because at least it was well attended, and we are simply praying that out of this seminar we will have men and women who will grow the church in matters of relationship with Christ. This has been our focal point, growing the spirituality of the members.
So far we can simply say to God be the glory for the work that has been done. This is the first one in Midlands West Zambia Conference that we are doing this year, and then there are many others that are lined up.
It's been very beneficial and we have learned a lot. One thing I think we learned about stewardship is not about money, it's about relationship with your God. How do you worship your God? Through your body, through what God has given you, and the blessing that God has given, or what God has given has come from above.
Brent Jobola, Hope News, Lusaka.
Thanks a lot, Brent, for that report. As we end the news, let's recap on stories that made headlines. Stanley Mutoya, the Zambian truck driver who suffered stroke in transit, has died. Government responds to the filling up of the dump site in Lusaka's Chunga area. SID President Dr. Harrington Akomba has arrived in the country ahead of the General Conference President's visit to Zambia. And Southern Zambia Union Conference Education Department to introduce a curriculum for Adventist schools in the region. Thank you so much for your time. On behalf of the entire studio and production team, not forgetting our correspondents across the country, I'm Bright Sinkos. On sign language, we had George Kalimko. God bless and bye for now.